welcome to my Kingsport Lighthouse settlement build. I've been slowly piecing this one together over the last few months, and it's been a lot of fun filling it out with characters and stories to try to match the spooky, scary vibe that I'm going for. But like a lot of things in Fallout, it's hard to avoid being a bit goofy too, so keep that in mind as we approach the main entrance and see how the Minutemen guards here have chosen to ward off any potential bad actors making their way through the port city. Let's head inside. To the right is a marketplace leading to the docks that we'll explore in a bit. We also have this weapons shop, and just to the left of that is the camouflaged guard post we saw on the way in. The guards are running a bit of a competition with prizes. Mo seems to be doing horribly, but that's not out of character for him. On the bottom level we have some supplies and a guard post looking in towards the entrance. And upstairs is a lookout that has a good view of the main gate area south of the settlement, plus a siren to alert everyone if there's an attack. Let's take a look in the weapons shop now, which also acts as a quartermaster to keep the guards supplied. Plenty of gear for sale. And a bounty board for anyone capable and looking to make some caps. There's some workbenches in here for settlers to use as needed. Just in front of us is the entrance to the Witch of Kingsport's house, which we'll be heading into a bit later. And up ahead is the Minutemen Barracks for the guards. But we're going to head around the back of the weapons shop to see the quartermaster's shop entrance. His house is up this makeshift staircase. You might have noticed there's a bit of a coffee obsession going on, even growing his own beans. But that's definitely one of the least harmful obsessions here in Kingsport. These ramparts run all along the cliff edge with guard posts poking out between the fencing. I think it makes a lot of sense to have as much visibility over the road as possible. There's also a break area and a workshop for them. We're going to head into the marketplace now, where most of the foot traffic is happening for travellers using the port. Just to the right is a Chems Dealer. She's doing well for herself, as the guards on the Watchtower always seem to be turning up with radiation poisoning. Luckily, she can easily replenish her stock with the amount of goods going through the supply line to and from Far Harbour and the castle. Next up, we'll take a look at Jigsaw's electronics repairs. He's notoriously good with robot repairs and upgrades, and has built himself a couple of bots to help run the place. He is Bear Trap, keeping the shop floor in order. And then we have Seesaw, who deals with the customers.
Identity confirmed. This unit is ready to serve.
And thanks to his friendly demeanour, has turned out to be a horrifyingly effective sales associate. Then we have Jigsaw out the back working on something. He's not much of a people person and sticks to himself and his bots. There's rumours floating around that he's an ex-Rust Devil, but just like the smell of irradiated fish, rumours and accusations are inescapable at Kingsport. Inside Jigsaw's home, we'll find he's built his own AI with a robo-brain connected to a console. And the robot fixation doesn't end there, as he also seems to enjoy building and painting the models. Across the deck is his neighbour who runs the food stall in the marketplace, and who enjoys having a drink maybe a little too much. But being right in the centre of town means he's pretty clued in and has developed a healthy paranoia about the occult trader across the road. He is a trader who's making the most of the variety of goods coming through the port, and her house just behind her. That food vendor is so obsessed he's not even watching his stall. Let's see what all the fuss is about at Krem's booth Occult Wares. He's got a bunch of goods for sale, as well as some kind of altar for occultists to practice rituals at. He's also set up a museum where visitors can pay to view some of the cursed artifacts he's collected. This is the mother icon from Far Harbour, Krem's tooth from Dunwich Borers being the namesake for the store, and this is Lorenzo Cabot's crown and gamma gun. I'm not sure how safe it would be to have such dark items held together like this. Let's head behind the counter where there's some Children of Adam paraphernalia. And we'll also find a secret back room. He's captured a glowing one, keeping it locked up in the room here, and has been harvesting its highly irradiated blood to be able to provide transfusions to the many Children of Adam followers who make their way through the settlement. They aren't supposed to be able to practice their methods of intentional irradiation within the city, but still do so in secret with the help of this capitalist occultist. We'll head up and take a look at his house. He's got a workstation here, and a very cozy looking bed. Next up is the fishmonger's shop and house. If you've got a keen eye, you might recognise where his allegiance lies. No shortage of irradiated seafood so close to the coast, with plenty of fresh-ish fish for sale. Here's his living space behind the counter, with a nice view out to the docks, and we can see his supply shack and small fishing boat down below. This is his bedroom, which may look simple, but we can see a second railroad call sign in this storage closet. And if I move this cart using digital labour, we'll find a secret hatch door. This hidden bunker built into the cliffs is used to house synths that have escaped the Institute. The fishmonger will keep them safe until they can organise transport to Far Harbour, where they'll continue their journey to the synth refuge in Arcadia. got to make sure to put the card back. Across the way is the Kingsport Landing Bar. It's hard to see in the light, but those neons keep flickering. It's been pretty quiet lately. Everyone is keeping to themselves rather than communing at the local, maybe for fear of revealing any secrets. Loose lips sink ships, as they say. The barkeeper's house is upstairs, another prime location with a great view over the water. Speaking of views, we're going to head up to the top of that watchtower now. The walkway to get up is back towards the main gate. Here's a small break area for the watchtower guards. That explains the radiation poisoning. At the base level of the tower is a supply room and power armor repair station. The first level up has a guard post looking towards the south, and someone isn't being careful enough around those mini nukes. Up top in the crow's nest, we have a good view of the docks and the beach all along the south side. And then across to the main gate, with an alarm bell here for attacks. Now we're going to make our way over to the Witch of Kingsport's house. And that title isn't self-imposed, but has come about through years of accusation, mostly from the children of Adam. They don't believe she's deserving of such a prominent position in the city while they are relegated to the outskirts. And they also view her as an abomination due to her ability to invoke the sight and read the future. She turned up at Kingsport almost immediately after the Minutemen claimed it, and due to her usefulness with the sight, as well as her understanding of herbology, was allowed to move into the pre-war house here. Here she is concocting up some tonics, either to invoke the sight or for medicinal use. The outfit doesn't really help with the accusations. And in this side room is where she does her readings, although they have been a bit foggy as of late, something that she noticed starting around the same time as the occult trader turned up in the town. She certainly isn't fond of him, and believes he is jeopardizing the well-being of the city and its inhabitants with his cursed artifacts, for the sake of his own personal wealth and power. Kind of spiritual sickness that she sees is making people paranoid. But she's done well for herself to collect all of the books and art that we can see, making her own personal library, as well as doing some writing of her own. And if we move this bookcase, we'll see a hidden room where she's performing a ritual of sorts. She's placed some items at each of the points of the pentagram. As well as hanging a Deathclaw hand from the ceiling that seems to be pointing suspiciously towards the Occult Traders Museum. We should probably leave everything as it is and leave her to it. Alright, this is the supply line loading and storage facility in front of us. There's a small office inside. And a storage lockup room. Plenty of equipment and ammo being moved through by the Minutemen. Out the back is a pulley mechanism for loading goods to and from the dock. And just to the right is the lighthouse operator's shack. We'll find him inside waiting to start his shift and spending that time obsessing over the lighthouse. He's often mumbling something to himself about enchantments in the light. He also built himself a treehouse to look out over the docks and the surrounding islands. And he's adamant that there's a person living on that island with the shipwreck who is taunting him. Whether or not that's true, or is just paranoia, or maybe even an elaborate prank being pulled by some interdimensional being, no one believes him. We'll take a look at his kitchen area upstairs now. He's very precious about his cooking being liked, and anyone who disagrees is likely to receive a whole dialogue about how wrong they are. This guard tower just next door keeps watch over the north entrance. You can see the Children of Adam Crater House settlement in the distance, who are the main users of this entrance. And they have a couple of structures just outside to assist their followers. There's certainly a lot of tension between the Minutemen and the Children of Adam. And the guards here aren't helping, like with this shrine they set up to obviously poke fun at their religious zealotry. We'll head into the Minutemen Barracks now, starting with the farmhand's house. They're a bit of a collector. Then we have one of the guards' houses. And it looks pretty disgusting. 3 guesses as to who it belongs to. Just next door we have a much more diligent guard, although there may be a bit of an addiction looking at all that buff out. Up top there's a guard post looking over the southern part of the entrance road. And a house for the guard station there. And lastly we have the Minutemen Captain's house. They're in charge of all the operations in the Northeastern Commonwealth. We'll head along these ramparts that continue along the cliff with an armory and various lookout points. There's the back of the weapons shop, so you can see where it all meets up. And on the corner here we have a utility room. As well as a room to house the generator for the settlement's power supply. Now we're going to take a look at the Children of Adam buildings just outside the north entrance. They've put together a supply lockup for any followers making the pilgrimage to the Nucleus in Far Harbour. And a priest from Crater House has decided to set up a place of worship for them to receive Adam's blessings on their journey. He spends most of his time here facing the judgment of non-believers directly, and is fairly isolated from his community at Crater House, which has built up some resentment towards the settlers at Kingsport. And one notable figure in particular. If not for his lack of authority, we might have seen a return of the Salem witch trials. So let's hope he never gets into a position of power. I almost forgot about this witch's greenhouse out the back, so here's a quick look at that. The last part of the settlement to look at is down at the docks, so thanks for sticking with me if you've made it this far. I have a build series on my channel with videos where I show everything being built in this settlement. So check out that if you're interested, and if you want to see more builds that lean heavy into the headcanon while trying to stay lore friendly, then make sure to subscribe. This is the area where the pulley mechanism loads goods down onto the docks. The main pier is full of supplies to be shipped off. There's a pallet here ready to be loaded, and more waiting to be sent either to the castle or to Far Harbour. Down below is a small shack for supply ship crew to stay if they need. And over the other side is a waiting area for anyone being ferried to Far Harbour, as well as the fishmonger's supply shack with everything he needs to set off. And lastly, here's one of the Minutemen's ferries, full of luggage and supplies. And a spot up front for the travellers. So that's everything. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. This build was full of references and Easter eggs, so let me know in the comments below which ones you picked up on, and I'll hopefully see you in the next build.